work, and now you're also having to realign your responsibility. I'm Rich.
And I'm Josh.
Make sure your Walkman is at full battery because we're diving into our dad tapes.
Thanks for listening to tape 10 of the Dad Tapes. Let's get rolling.
What are we drinking tonight, man?
Tonight, we are drinking, it's an evil genius. It's called Stacy's Mom. It's a Citra IPA. It is, where's this brewed?
It looks like it's from Philly.
Yeah, it's brewed in Pittstown, PA. It's kind of like a citrus, it's a citrusy beer. IPA with low bitterness and lots of hop flavor. Dry hopped entirely with Citra, which, as you may have guessed, get its name from its strong citrus notes.
So I've never had this before. I think I've seen the brewery's brand once or twice, probably in Passion Vines going in there. But it's not bad. This is my first sip. Yeah, it's a little warm because you bought some stocked warm beer. Probably sat out in the sun all day, didn't it, in your car?
No, it was literally just put in the cooler as I was walking in the Passion Vines.
I'm sure it was.
Dead ass.
It's a heavy beer too. It's a 7.5 ABV, man.
Yeah.
You have a few of those, man, you'll be feeling toasty. Yeah, it's definitely a beer I'd buy again. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But what's been up, man?
Not much,
new?
man. No, nothing really new. Just been working, hanging out.
Bro, I feel like every week I could just copy and paste the same free talk segment that you have. It's just like, yeah work's been busy. I mean, did you take any massive dumps this week? Did you try any new food?
Yeah.
Like, what's up, man?
No. Well, I mean, we went to dinner for my mom's birthday Tuesday night, and I'm pretty sure I got fucking food poisoning.
Nice, dude. That is the best. I love getting food poisoning because it's just a great feeling to have that burning sphincter. Man, your poop cutter gets...
Dude, I didn't have burning sphincter. It was coming out the other end, bro.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that bad, but, I mean, because luckily my body was like, yeah, no, we ain't fucking doing this. And it was like, we're getting rid of this right now.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I didn't really get sick that much. It's just, the next day I felt like total dog shit.
Oh, that sucks, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I mean, getting food poisoned sucks. Pretty big dick.
It's all right. It got me a day off of work.
Oh, so that was the playing hooky, huh? Yeah, okay.
But, no, what about you? How was your week?
Ah, man, it's, well, we finally got the solar panels put in.
Oh,
dude, this week has been hella crazy with the kids. The routine has been off. The scheduling has been off just because trying to accommodate, the roofers being there, not allowing the kids go out, not allowing the dogs, because now we got a new puppy.
Yeah.
Got a little Cavapoo. The wife talked me into it. It was a nice little Mother's Day gift. So,
he's cool.
Yeah, Benji boy.
Yeah, Benji's cool, man.
Yeah, he's a chill dog. But, it's been a rough week. And then Wednesday, so Monday was the new roof. Because in no way, shape, or form are we ever going to put solar panels on a roof that was about 16 years old.
Yeah.
You're more than halfway through its lifetime. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to pay to have those panels removed and then pay to have those panels put back on and then pay for the roof. Not worth it.
It's too much work.
Exactly. Just get it done all in one lump sum. Just call it a day. It sucks, but call it a day. Wednesday, they put the panels up. We just have to wait for the approvals, the final inspections to get it turned on, and the approvals from the state as well as AC Electric. So AC Electric just has to put like a reverse meter onto the meter.
Yeah.
So once they get that done up and the state approves everything, we'll be good to go. We'll be live with solar. So
that's awesome, man. Like, what kind of percentage are you guys looking at for like actually saving money?
Well, the expectation is going to be $0 for Atlantic City electric bills. Dude, we're absolutely going to be saving money.
Good.
You know, just even considering what the electricity bill was at the old house on Hand Avenue. But yeah, the electricity bill was close to 300, just touching maybe 300, if just slightly over, depending on how hot it was.
Yeah.
In the summertime months. So it, you know.
Y'all would cry if you saw my electric bill, bro.
Why is that? What do you?
Because every appliance in my fucking house is electric.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I have no gas. No, like
is there
nothing.
even gas lines in the village?
Nope.
Dude, that sucks.
Where I'm at, there's like, because of the older buildings, and them being stacked next to each other, it's considered a fire hazard. So they don't actually like allow you to add on with that now. It sucks. Because like I wanted to so bad because I know I will save a lot of money.
Dude, even I'm you know me. Dude, I'm a cooker. I cook. Yeah. Cooking on gas is just so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Because the electric burners, they'll heat up, they turn off. They'll heat up, they'll turn off.
Yeah.
They can't stay that constant.
Yeah, because they have limit switches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, and I hated cooking on electric. It's just the worst, dude.
It does suck, but you do get used to it.
I don't know if I'd ever be able to get used to it. I couldn't get used to it when I lived in Cape May. I mean, you remember those little burners?
Yeah,
you know?
I remember.
But yeah, dude, I hate cooking with electric. So power to you, man.
All right. I ain't gonna plan on being there for long. Just working.
Don't you worry, man. Like I'll give you that CMA when you're ready.
Yeah,
man. I'll give you that
definitely.
CMA when you're ready, bro.
Let me get the kitchen done first. You know, with those cabinets, you know, let me scoop up free.
Yeah, in that fridge.
Yeah,
in that fridge.
I still have yet to put that shit in, dude.
You know, I'm not surprised.
It's still sitting in my fucking storage unit.
I'm not surprised, dude. Just clear out that storage unit.
I would, but I don't have anywhere to put the cabinets.
We just
do the kitchen.
We just emptied out the garage. You know that damn door we had replaced, and how it was sitting in my garage for forever.
Yeah.
Since it was replaced.
Yeah.
Andrew had a dumpster. Got rid of that today. Gone.
Oh, there you go.
Finally getting some garage space, bro.
There you go.
Never had a garage in my life. This is amazing. I love it. But other than that, man, just the same old, you know? Just, like I said, pretty stressful week. And it's kind of good that it was a stressful week because our topic tonight is going to be kind of correlating to some things here. So,
yeah,
you know, we're not going to dive into that yet. We got some reading from our handy book, but you know, besides that, it nothing. You know, it just seems like this time of year, things just kind of, you know, until you get to the holidays and the peak of summer, things just kind of, it's a mundane roll of the week. Nothing special. What time is it, man? Do you know what time it is?
I do. Do you know what time it is?
I think it's time for us to be a prepared dad. And you know what? You are a prepared dad this week.
Yeah,
because
I am.
Why?
I got my book this week.
You good job, dude. You killing it, man.
Pat on the back, man.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Oh man! So this week, we're reading pages 89 through 91, and this week it's all about your mental health. It's important, man.
It is extremely important.
Whether you are a mother, father, whatever you identify as, your mental health is very important. Your mental health. You've probably begun to realize that most of the time spent with your babies this age is not so much quality time as it is quantity time. Endless of hours of routine bodily maintenance, punctuated by knee bouncing, song singing, and the occasional staring contest. You look at your watch thinking that 2 hours have gone by and a mere 15 minutes has ticked off. Dude, those times suck.
Oh my God, dude. It's like, and those times just extrapolate over each other because it's like 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and it feels like it's 3 hours there and 2 hours here, and it's like, oh my God, I'm living like a 32-hour day.
Yeah, but dude, there's a trick to that. Don't look at the clock. You can't. You can't look at the clock. It's the same way with me when I'm at work, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the same way as working. Man. You just got to keep those eyes away from the dial.
Anyway, after a while, the isolation and lack of mental stimulation can start to drive you insane. You may find yourself eagerly picking up the phone for telemarketers, thankful for any adult interaction, staring transfixed at a baby video for half an hour after your baby's fallen asleep next to you, and, without realizing it, ending all of your conversations with high-pitched bye-bye. Is your brain starting to curdle, and what can you do about it?
So there's some steps you can take to regain, some semblance of some mental stability. If anybody even ever had it in the first place, man. Like, how many of us are actually mentally stable to begin with? That's a tough one. But so what's a rundown of some of the steps that you could take, Josh?
All right, so the first one here, it says create a sanctuary. It says claim one room in a house for your own and keep it 100% baby free. If you live in a small apartment, claim a walk-in closet. Make the room a tribute to your former life.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm not even going to touch that one either.
Get some ink on your fingers. It says, to keep yourself connected with the world, read the paper whenever you get the chance,
Yeah, good
See
luck
what's
with
going
that.
on for the week.
Yeah. Dude, I'm not going to lie. When I first saw that bullet point, I honestly thought they're like, oh, they're telling me to get a tattoo. That's awesome, right?
I was thinking the same shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm down. This book's telling me to get some more tattoo. But yeah, newspapers. I'm about newspapers too, but I was different mindset there. But moving on.
Listen, man, I'm all about that ink therapy.
Oh, I agree.
Maintain your fighting weight. Says some dads experiences sympathetic pregnancy after the baby comes out, a result of eating odd things at odd hours and getting almost no exercise. But it's important to stay within range of your pre-baby weight.
Very important, or you're gonna turn into me.
Keep your, I don't know. Keep somewhat of a limit for yourself. Don't binge eat. The fourth bullet point says take off. Inside time is much slower than outside time. Take
That's
a day off
that
of work.
15 minutes that seems like for like 3 hours when you're stuck inside, man. And it's reversed when you're outside because you're out there for you could be out there for 3 hours and it feels wow. It's only I thought it was 45 minutes.
Yeah, and boom, time goes flying.
Exactly.
Find other dads for the fifth bullet point. Make friends, man.
That's super important.
Yeah.
You want to develop a community like we're trying to do here for you guys, with us, and so be it. But that's important. Like-minded people, like having gone through very similar experiences, you're going to be bound to create some type of relationship.
Yeah. And the last one says take notes. Chances are that you were given one of those baby scrapbooks and it hasn't been filled out for at least a month. Instead, try putting up a big monthly wall calendar somewhere in your house. The kitchen is optimal. Unlike a scrapbook, you'll always be able to find it and fill it out while holding the baby. Whenever something interesting happens, just write it down. Keep record of it. So the goal of the show tonight, the importance of self-care and self-focus while being a parent. A healthy and satisfied you makes for a healthy and satisfying parent experience for them. So be sure you're not squeezing in the time for yourself, but making it a routine time for yourself. Remember as well, there is a difference between self-indulgence and self-care.
What is self-indulgence?
To be honest with you, I don't know.
That's like when you go and decide that you want to take a nice big bubble bath with a glass of wine. Like that's indulging, That you might be releasing some stress, but the endorphins help battle that stress when you're actually doing some self-care because there's nothing productive outside of coming from a bath besides just time alone.
Yeah.
And there's a time and place for that too. Truly, I believe that. But you also need to care about yourself because if you're not caring about yourself, not only is that going to set a bad example for your children, but you're going to put yourself into a bad position for your children.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Sorry, guys. Just letting you know it's time for a newly named portion of the show, the data dump. Previously we would just spew all this information and it would just go in one ear and probably out the other, and nobody could blame you because I know that happens to me. Moving forward with our new segment, data dump. Focusing on the importance of treating yourself as a parent is critical to your health and the health of your kids. For instance, and only focusing on the impacts of parenting stress, which is defined as when the parenting demands are exceeding the expected and actual resources. Parenting stress has a direct correlation to the debilitating effects of some neurophysiological mechanisms. Specifically, so neurophysiological mechanism, it's a big word.
Christ.
That's a tongue tire. Specifically, one of the effects parental stress can have on a child is impairing the mother-child behavioral synchrony, and it affects it pretty significantly. The mother-child synchrony is defined as an essential component of the interaction between a mother and her infant and is characterized by adaptive and reciprocal behaviors that promote a mutually rewarding interaction. The gist of it comes off as like you're telepathic with your baby, which that would be awesome.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, there is an element to where the brain does interact very similar to each other from more so mothers than fathers.
Yeah.
Just because, we're not the ones carrying that baby around for us in us for 9 months. Thank God. These parental stresses can and will lead to parental burnout. Although burnout is mostly associated with high-stress jobs and careers, there is growing bodies of research and studies to suggest parental burnout is just as significant, if not more. Just some side effects of parental burnout could be violent behaviors and neglect toward children, even when that is your physically opposed parental style. You're going to fall and lapse into that behavior because you're just so beyond exhausted. It's you're harming yourself and you're harming your children, directly and indirectly.
It also becomes a habit too,
True.
And it's something that you get used to, and sometimes you really don't notice yourself doing it. I mean, I will admit there was countless of nights where I'd come home from work and I'm like, I'm dead. Like I've got nothing left.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, I felt bad, but it's just there really wasn't much that I could do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you just get into this thing where your brain is so fixated on one thing when you get home, and that's sleep.
Yeah.
Because you know that you have to get up and do it all over again the next day.
Yeah, you do. But hey, you know what? At the end of the show, we got some links that we do want to share with you guys on how to create some self-care routines and implement that practice in your life, because you don't want to end up in that position. And that was our data dump. I know, we were just talking about how, you come home after a long days of work and all you think about is sleep. And that was even when you were married and you had your wife at the time, your now ex-wife, and she was with, your daughter all day, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and she was with your daughter all day, and that has its own stresses as well. And I know she probably needed time to decompress and, de-stress as well. And it's tough because here you are coming home from a long day's work, and now you're also having to realign your responsibilities from work to dad.
Yep.
And that's got to be grueling. It's not fun, man. I mean, I've been there as well, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Now your situation is where you're a single parent. I know you have a lot of stressors in your life, between work and finances to being a single parent, trying to be a good parent, but adding into your own life, socializing and going out and trying to meet people. You got to live.
Yeah.
Between balancing all of that, what ways do you try to conduct some self-care? And do you think you provide yourself enough self-care and time for your self-care? As you open up a beer to drink.
Honestly, yeah, right? No, I mean, some ways that I try to conduct self-care is, for one, I'm a very hands-on person. So whether it's a hobby or just anything I enjoy doing, something that I enjoy spending time on, it may not be considered self-care in a lot of people's eyes, but in my eyes, I think it is, because it's something that I'm willing to want to go out and actually have a good time doing. And it helps me reflect on, a lot of the things that are going on in my life.
Okay.
And it helps me stay in a positive outcome. Like for instance, one night I get done work. If I got some time, I'll go throw a couple lines in, catch a couple fish. Mm-hmm. I had a stressful day. It kind of winds me down from that stressful day. And then when I come home, I'm not like, I don't have all these immediate things hitting me in the face.
Yeah.
But like going and transitioning from work to immediately going home and having to deal with all these other things.
Yeah.
So I make sure that sometimes I take my time to do something that I enjoy before I get home and have to deal with other things. Do I provide myself, enough self-care? I mean, I probably could implement a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm not just doing things for myself. I mean, I'm also going out and spending time with friends.
Yeah.
I'm getting myself back out there and giving myself a little bit more of a social life that I didn't have before. So it's kind of nice because I enjoy hanging out with these people, and they're to give me positive feedback.
Even putting yourself into your self-created community, if we want to call it that, your circle of friends, your circle of trusted people, that's important too. And it is exactly. Honestly a method of self-care because you're allowing yourself that time away from that mundane
stress.
Exactly. Yeah. So that absolutely, in my opinion, I do think going out and socializing. I'm not saying go out and get wasted every night.
Yeah, right. One night a week.
Yeah, maybe. No. I'm not saying go out and get wasted every night, but having that to go and lean back on, that is self-care, man. So
because it's like I try to surround myself with good people that already have positive energy. Mm-hmm. So with me going and being with those people that are already like that, it keeps me in a good mood. I mean, I know how things can be pretty crazy when you've got two kids running around and they're constantly wanting attention.
God.
What are some things that you like to do to make you happy when you have some free time for yourself?
I mean, firstly, I will say finding that free time with two kids, being several years apart is absolutely tough, man. It's difficult.
Shit, I believe it.
Yeah. If they were closer in age, it'd be a little bit different. But one naps and the one doesn't nap. But what I have done is implement like quiet time. And I've taught him how quiet time is also beneficial for him because he can use that time to, even if he dozes off for 30 minutes or if he just goes and, has quiet play in his room or builds a train track or has just, single play for himself. That's important too, to create that independence. Even though he'll be 5 in July, it's still important to have that time as well as, all the other times he has. Yeah. So I use that time to,
well, that's kind of good because it's a reflection for him as well.
Exactly. And I'm trying to implement and teach him that and guide him to say, you need this in your life just as much as Daddy does.
Yeah.
And Jill and I both will say, at nighttime we'll find ourselves as mommy and daddy time. And sometimes he doesn't like to go to bed when he's supposed to go to bed. He uses the same routine. I'm hungry.
Sounds like me.
Yeah. It's like you just ate dinner. You ate all of your dinner. You had like a full plate of spaghetti and broccoli. And I know you're not really hungry. You're using it as an excuse, but go and sit your butt down at the table, eat a piece of bread because you're intruding on mommy and daddy time. And this is your sleep time. And it's important for him to sleep. And we've expressed that fact. Like you need sleep.
Yeah.
When you're waking up at 5:30 a.m. and you're supposed to get 11 to 13 hours of sleep a night, as a 4 or 5-year-old, you're not nappy, and you got to get that sleep at night. So, yeah, man, I guess to answer your question, I use that time for myself during quiet time when Bridget naps, and I've implemented that for him as well. Like I said, I'm showing him how it's important and beneficial for him too.
Yeah.
And normally during that time frame, I'll do an activity that removes myself from that mindset of being a parent and the craziness that entails. Again, just this week, prime example. This week was so hectic because our routine schedule was so thrown off because of all the environmental influences on us.
Yeah.
As a unit of 3. Because Jill, even herself, she actually just started a new job. So, all 4 of us had different routines, and it was a hectic week.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it's important to have that time, and I'll just, dive into editing the podcast, or I'll dive into notes, or I'll read, or, I want to get back into working out again. And I'll use that time, or even in the early mornings to work out.
Yeah.
Because that is self-care, whether you're reading or working out, it's isolation.
Yeah.
And that's good to isolate yourself at times.
It's like quiet time.
Exactly. Yeah, it's quiet time.
Yeah.
It's beneficial. And to remain physically active, but at the same time, involving them too.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting line to walk, but as a stay-at-home parent, you just got to find and just do it. There's really no guide on doing it. I'm sure there is. I haven't investigated it, quite honestly. Don't have the time to. I'm a stay-at-home parent. And kind of like what I was saying about wanting to re-implement that working out in my life. Much like you, I know that especially your time off of work, you used working out as a method for self-care and treatment. But now, your life and your routine has changed. Do you typically provide yourself a window of time on a routine basis to conduct that self-care? I know you said that you think you could implement more in your life, but the self-care that you currently provide yourself, do you kind of schedule that for yourself, or do you just kind of squeeze it in when you can?
I try not to schedule anything because honestly, all right. So if I'm going to schedule anything, it's to schedule something when I have my kid.
Okay.
I'm a very open book of a person, so I'm always down for something new or whatever, But when I have the opportunity, I will try to squeeze something in for myself. For instance, the gym.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point I was going every day.
Yeah.
But at that time I was laid off, but that was keeping me somewhat sane.
Yeah.
And I mean, now that I am working and I am very busy. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, with where I am now, it's a lot less stress, man. It's fucking great, dude.
That's good.
Which is nice because I'm working with my old man again, so it's nice. I get to see him every day again and everything. But so there are many things that you can do to focus on self-care. I mean, we have talked about a lot of things here, whether it's the gym or eating healthy or taking care of your skin or just taking time for yourself. What are some things that you do that can be considered self-care?
So I'm going to go back to working out, using that time, anything to kind of keep you engaged, but not overstimulate or overwhelm.
Yeah.
Something that you enjoy doing, like anything that allows me to not harm myself. Like I'm not going to sit down on the couch and, at 2 p.m, crack a beer, which don't get me wrong. You know what? I have done because just some days where you just be like,
and listen, don't get it twisted with what he's saying. That can be considered as self-care as well.
Yeah. You just don't want to do it on a routine basis.
Exactly.
That would be an issue. Then, going in there half drunk, picking up your daughter out of the crib. Hey, baby, girl, it's so slow. Hey, you guys. But yeah, anything that really that's beneficial to you, that doesn't harm you. Even just going out and doing yard work. Even if I have the kids, I'll find if I have the kids, I always have the kids. Yeah. But if the kids are awake and outside with me, I'll still find that opportunity to set them up in the playground on the swing set or something like that and let them do their thing while I go and, pull weeds in the garden or, treat the grass or do what I can or even do yard work.
Yeah.
We've even gotten them like a battery operated like weed whackers and a blower and a chainsaw, and they have a lawnmower. So that, when I'm doing stuff, they'll go out and do the same thing too. They'll copy that. And quite honestly, it's the cutest thing in the world. I'm not gonna lie. It's like some Husqvarna or whatever that brand is from Home Depot, little weed whacker and stuff that my mom and dad got them for Christmas one year. But yeah,
but that's
stuff like that.
That's the nice thing about stuff like that too, because even though things like that can be considered chores, a lot of people do enjoy that.
Yeah.
And kids picking something up like that and seeing that their parents enjoy it and they're just enjoying it with them.
Exactly. They want to be involved with you.
Exactly.
So, I guess just to summarize everything we really discussed and, what we do for ourselves and with our kids or for our kids, it's important to be aware of your stress levels and your potential of burnout because that could be a very detrimental thing for your health and for theirs.
Yeah.
And some healthy measures to take, besides the things that we've discussed that we do for ourselves, Some healthy measures to take would be, like one, to talk about it. Talk about it with your family, talk about it with your friends, talk about it with your partner.
Therapist, whatever.
Exactly. Whomever you see or whomever you're feeling comfortable with in those moments, and vulnerable, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable with that person, because that's also the other aspect of it. You're sharing yourself.
Yeah.
Reevaluate your stress. If it's a job, reevaluate that. I mean, how much does that job mean, or how much does that job do for you that another job can't?
Yeah, or how can I make it better for myself?
Exactly. Make small changes. Grow your parenting skills as well. That's going to help you profoundly in so many different ways. I mean, I don't even need to go on to that. And one other thing is, avoid using the term should when you're referencing yourself. Like, especially if you're like a stay-at-home parent, you'll find yourself doing this. I should really have spent more time, or, Declan wanted to play more. I should have spent more time with him. And supplant that should with a more self-reinforcing statement. Like, it would be great if I did do that next time. It would be great if I was able to get them outside today for a second time. Because the should statement's only going to cast doubt, and it's going to extrapolate and just send you down that rabbit hole, and you don't need to be there.
It brings you down as well.
Exactly. Take micro breaks, because, just like cats, man, a cat nap, that's a real thing. It helps. So even if you just remove yourself for 10, 15 minutes while they're, playing quietly together or independently together or whatever it is, use that time to treat yourself.
Close your eyes for a few.
Yeah, exactly. And then find meaning. Your only meaning should not be just your children.
Yeah.
Because you're still existing, you're still a person, and you're still contributing in one way, shape, form, or another.
And you can't contribute to them if you're not contributing to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you have to show them that you're a person too, because
you got to be strong for them.
Exactly. Remind yourself to also teach children your self-care, and teach them and implement that into their lives, not only through explaining, but through action. Yeah. Like with the quiet time with Declan, it's not just explaining, it's acting on it. Yeah. It's monkey see, monkey do. That's how kids are. And to take some stress off of your shoulders, what we're going to do is provide you guys some sites with some resources to help create some self-care routines, and to help teach you, self-care to your little ones in the case that you really want to pursue that. You know what time it is now, right?
Situation.
It's time for some crappy situations, man. It's what do you got for us this week, man? I'm excited. Just the name of this one here. Let's go. I haven't read any of them, except that I read that two of the names, and so I'm excited for it. So what you got for us?
So, all right. So the first one is Something About Fish and Cats. It's by I'm a D-Bag, and it was back in December of 2023.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
He's living in the future, bro.
Yeah, what the fuck? Maybe it's a typo. But it says, today I finally met my dream woman, a smoking hot, green-eyed, petite, red hot.
You know what it is? It's May 12th.
A smoking hot, green-eyed, petite, redhead. or so I thought. I met her online, and she turned out to be a 22-year-old guy trolling me.
Yes,
the worst part is that I separated from my wife for this girl.
Damn.
She won't take me back no matter how much I beg and plead. Oh, my God.
You should have contacted Neve before you went and did this one, my guy.
Shit.
Man, it sucks being catfish, doesn't it, Josh?
It does. It really fucking does.
I've never been catfish, but I think I'm the only one here that can say that right now.
Guys, it fucking sucks.
What's the next one?
Next one's Beauty Standards by Anonymous. It says, today my boyfriend snuck up behind me while I was naked and whispered in my ear to bend over. I thought this was a lead up to doggy style, but nope. He slapped a waxing strip on my exposed bum hole and ran off yelling, no more hairy hole, no more hairy hole.
Oh, God.
So the next one is Get That Bussy. It's by Matt. It says, this FML is from back in 2011, but it's good stuff. Today I was late for the bus. I chased after it for 3 blocks until I realized that the bus driver was laughing at me for trying to catch her.
Yes, I love it. I'm down for that one.
Great, man.
That's a great bus driver.
Oh, shit. And the last one is classic prank. It's by Anonymous, and it's back from 2010. It says, today at Burger King, I had to go to the bathroom. 2 ketchup packets were under the seat and exploded on my legs and pants when I sat down. FML.
Fuck, how do you explain that one too, man? What are you going to say? Like, there was ketchup packet? Nobody's going to believe you.
Yeah, right.
Nobody's going to believe you. Oh, God, man. That sucks. That sucks, man.
All right, so now it is time for a social media shout-out. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. Facebook is /The Dad Tapes, Instagram @The Dad Tapes Podcast, and Twitter is @The Dad Tapes. And be sure to like and subscribe and leave a review of the show wherever you listen to podcasts. It truly helps the show.
We just, by the time this gets released, it's going to be just before Memorial Day weekend. So we wanted to wish you guys a good and safe Memorial Day weekend. You know, whatever and wherever you plan to go, whatever plans you have, enjoy it. Enjoy
have
that
fun.
time off. Exactly.
Yeah, take that day to reflect on yourself, man.
Before you go and celebrate, just please don't forget to rewind the tape before you box it back up. All right?
Yeah, rewind that tape before you crack your first beer on Memorial Day, guys.
Because once you crack the first, the second's going to go down just as easy, and then it's going to be third, and then from there, you're just going to find yourself forgetting to rewind it, and
then you're going to be
an
that
asshole.
guy.
You're going to be that guy who is a complete,
D-bag.
Exactly. And then you'll be submitting some FMLs yourself.
We don't want to put you guys on the show that way. We want to put you guys on the show other ways, but not that way.
All right, guys. It's been good.
Have a good week.
Peace.
Later.